Parents can never be wrong, that they are gods, that they know best, that if they gave you food, shelter, and education, you owe them everything. They fed you, clothed you, paid your fees, stood in line for your admissions, stayed up all night when you had a fever. They were always available for you. But you know what? Sometimes the deepest wounds don't come from absence. They come from presence wrapped in pressure, guilt, and fear. Like the girl who scored 90% and still her mom said, "What happened to the other 10%?" It made that girl feel like she was never enough. Her mother made her lunch every day. Her father would come to pick her up from school every day. Her parents stayed up all night when she had a fever. The girl knew that her parents loved her more than anything else in this world. But that love sometimes came with terms and conditions. To be perfect or be punished silently. Or the boy whose father always said, "Son, I gave up my dreams so you could live yours. Your mother buys only one sari a year, that too on Diwali, so that we can pay your college fees. You need to make us proud at any cost." That sounds noble, inspiring, and sacrificial. Right? Until it became a burden. Every time he failed, the failure felt like betrayal. Until he forgot which dream was his and which was his father's. The boy knew he was studying in the best school, but his parents never once asked, "Are you okay, son? Is something bothering you from inside?" Whenever the boy tried to speak about feeling lonely or anxious, his father would say, "You are lucky. You have everything I never had. Don't overthink. Just focus on your studies and career." And so, the boy learned not to feel, to stay silent, to suppress his emotions. He became good at pretending. But at night, he could feel the silence in his heart, and that silence was louder than ever. Our parents are our shelter in our life's heaviest storm. They were present at every school event, but absent when we cried in silence. They praised us in front of others, but pointed out our flaws when no one was watching. Our culture tells us parents can never be wrong, that they are gods, that they know best, that if they gave you food, shelter, and education, you owe them everything. And yes, parents give a lot. They sacrifice a lot for us so that we don't sleep hungry. And being a responsible and mature child, we owe them everything. We want to provide them with everything. They deserve a better life, comfort, respect, and all the happiness they never had. But sometimes supportive parents can still be emotionally damaging. You can be loved and still feel wounded and guilty. Many parents in India say this line, "I sacrificed my entire life for you." And while it may be true, repeating it over and over becomes a burden. The child feels obligated, pressured to be the perfect return on investment. Every choice becomes about repaying the parents. Even love starts to feel like a debt. And that's not a relationship. That's emotional captivity in the name of gratitude. Many of us were raised with a love that felt conditional. If you got good marks, you were hugged. If you won a prize, you were celebrated. You were gifted a bicycle, a bike, a PC, a laptop, and your entire family line would know that you topped your class. But when you fail, suddenly the warmth disappeared. Parents stopped picking up relatives' calls, or they would cut them short with made up excuses. You could feel that silence after a mistake, that invisible wall of cold distance. I bet there is hardly a child in India, especially we millennials, who hasn't faced that infamous chappal, belt, or jharu treatment from their parents. Not because we disrespected anyone, but because we scored less or failed in exams. Punishing a child like this isn't discipline, it's emotional withdrawal. And as children, we don't forget that feeling of being emotionally neglected. We start to believe I'm only lovable when I'm successful. That's not support, that's performance based love. Discipline is necessary, but when it comes with shame, when you are compared to your cousin every day, when you are called lazy, useless, or a burden during a bad phase, that is not parenting. That is emotional abuse. But we love our parents. We love them incredibly. We justify it. They were angry because I did something wrong. It was my mistake. They always want good things for me. They scolded me because I didn't score well. They didn't mean it. They want me to succeed in life. But we carry that shame into adulthood. We become people pleasers. We strive to be perfect. And when we face some failure, even a small failure, we question our worth. We fear rejection. We blame ourselves. Because we know our worth is decided by our success, not by our failure. And sometimes we become emotionally numb too. Some parents don't believe in boundaries. Your room is not your room. Your diary is not private. Your mistakes are family gossip. And your dreams just meaningless and foolish. You are expected to be everything: an obedient child, a family savior, the pride of the family, and sometimes an emotional sponge too, but never fully you. Their dreams are your dreams because they know what's best for you, because they have raised you since birth, because they have provided you with everything. And you are not allowed to say, Mom, this hurt me. Dad, I don't want to do this. You are not ungrateful for feeling this way. You are not disrespecting them by acknowledging your wounds. Healing doesn't mean blaming your parents. It means seeing clearly what happened, where those wounds actually came from. Because the truth is, our parents were also raised like this. Our grandparents were stricter, colder, and even more emotionally distant than ours. Mental health was never a topic. Emotional needs were seen as a weakness. And even today, emotional needs are seen as a weakness. Psychologists and psychiatrists are often labeled as पागलों का डॉक्टर in India. अरे अरे कुछ नहीं हुआ है इसको, इसकी नजर झड़वाओ, सब कुछ ठीक हो जाएगा. So our parents, they were never taught how to love gently. They were just trying to survive because they were always taught to survive since birth, not to live for themselves. Our parents had dreams too, but those dreams were buried under responsibilities, helping raise siblings, managing the household, and getting married early. Their childhood was cut short, and in many ways they become adults before they were even ready. So they passed on what they knew: toughness, duty, silence. The truth is, we may never truly know whether it is their fault for not understanding our sadness, our anxiety, or our breakdowns. They were never allowed to feel their own pain either. They were just told to adjust, sacrifice, and move on. And that's exactly what they taught us. But times have changed. And just like they did their best with what they had, we now have the chance to do better. We have the chance to break the cycle. We can say, Mom, Dad, I love you, but I need emotional safety too. We can set boundaries. You are allowed to say, Mom, this is my diary. You are not allowed to touch this. Explain not out of anger, but out of awareness. We can start conversations they never had with gentleness, not blame. You can say, Mom, I'm depressed. I need therapy. Explain to them, Mom, can you help me? Dad, I don't want to do this. I have my dreams too. I want you to have faith in me. We can give our inner child what it missed. And maybe, if we are lucky, we can help our parents heal too. To anyone listening who feels this pain, you are not alone. You are not broken. And you are not wrong for needing more than food, shelter, and education. You deserve to be heard. You deserve to be seen. You deserve to be loved without fear. And now, maybe it's time to give that love to yourself. Not because your parents failed you completely, but because you finally need to choose to see yourself fully.